officially started.
Yay! So we are
Hello,
officially
everyone.
started on Facebook as well. Anywhere that you're at, in whichever platform that you're at, we are super excited to have you here. We are Jack and Michelle Bosch, and this is session 3 of the Land Profit Lab. Super excited to guide you. We are thrilled to be your host, to be your guides throughout this process. That has really changed the lives of thousands of people. A lot of you guys are already, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I can sense it from, all the action items that we've been, making you do on Monday, yesterday, Tuesday. You guys are getting a lot of clarity in terms of like the types of areas, the types of counties that we need to be going after, when it comes to either infill lots, path of growth, or rural land. So you guys are already seeing that, and I am super excited about that.
All right, and today we're actually adding a couple of other platforms in. We're adding Instagram in. We're adding actually a Zoom group into it too. And I just want to make sure for that whoever watches it outside of Facebook right now, join the Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
It's Land Profit Generator Real Estate Investing Group, or go, if you haven't been registered for the class yet, for the session yet, go to lpglab.com and register. If you're on Facebook watching this already, chances are you have this already. But if not, go watch it there, because this while we stream this morning session on the different platforms, the afternoon bonus sessions are not going to be in there. The homework thread is not going to be in there. Basically the challenges that we ask you to post your homework and take those extra steps forwards are not on Instagram or Zoom. They're only on Facebook. So make sure that you join us on Facebook and come over and also watch these sessions. And the replays of the sessions are only going to be on Facebook. So therefore, make sure you come over on Facebook, right? Okay.
And so, just for anyone that is watching this on Zoom, and has not, yet joined the Facebook group, I just want to very quickly introduce ourselves. We are Michelle and Jack Bosch. We're the co-creators of the Land Profit Generator method. We have built this business from zero with $3,000 to our name, with a lot of sacrifice, and we've been able to build that in a very short period of time into an 8-figure business, and all because of scale. We both work for Fortune 500 companies. We were deeply unfulfilled. Our paychecks didn't match definitely our efforts and time that we were putting into that. But we've had the privilege, of doing business in large scale. And we specialize in doing exactly that, and helping you build, grow, and scale your land flipping business, because scale is what's going to give you repetition. Scale is what's going to be giving you that muscle, that PhD, and making money, it's not one deal once in a while that makes you, retire your spouse, leave your 9-to-5 grind. It's really having a consistent pipeline deal flow, and that is our gift for you guys today. In session 3, we are covering today how to obtain your lists, how to filter those lists, how to schedule, how to automate that. We're going to give you systems. So we're going to be covering quite a bit of strategy, but also very tactical stuff.
Right, and even also how to take all of that and look again up and look towards mastery, look towards scale, look towards creating a high 6 or even 7-figure income, and putting this all together. Now, we all put it together tomorrow, but still, we're always going to have that view on this. So,
yeah. And we've already covered, earlier this week, your why. We've already covered, what are the types of properties that we focus on? What are the types of properties that you want to pivot towards? We've also already covered, the areas, the 3 key characteristics that you need to look for in an area in order to make sure that you get this whole thing going on, setting up yourself right for success. Because if you get the areas wrong, everything else doesn't work. You know what I mean? So important. Right. We've already covered that. We've also covered, the types of buyers and how to find multipliers, when it comes to buyers, so that you can really sell your properties quickly. So just a little recap of what we've done. We're also doing very interactive sessions here with everyone. And we are offering prices, to all of those that are showing up live here inside of the Facebook group, and that are also playing game with us in terms of making sure that you're posting in the homework posts. Those homework posts are not for us, Jack and I, we're free. But it's to help you guys basically digest each action item at a time, put it into actual practice, not just you taking training in, but actually doing stuff, as we go along at our pace, so that you can start seeing the breakthroughs, you can start, getting to success, paving a path, getting you into motion. This is kind of like these 9 days together are like a runway so that you can really take off.
It's a momentum creator. It's a process. It's an initiative. It's something like, it drives us crazy that there's people out there that have just been watching us forever and watching, and they see other people succeed. And they see them succeed, yet they don't take action. I always say the hardest part to get to the gym is actually getting out of bed.
Yeah.
The hardest part is actually getting out of bed and getting into that car. Once you're in the car and the engine is on and you're driving, getting to the gym and working out is easy, right? You're not going to turn around halfway on the way to the gym and go back to bed. You're not going to go sit in the parking lot of the gym and take a nap. You're just going to go. The hardest part is get that momentum. The hardest part, if you have a car that's turned off, that you need to push it, the hardest part is at the beginning, getting that car into motion. Once it's in motion, it starts up and it runs on its own, right? And that's what we're doing here. That's what we're wanting to accomplish. That's what we accomplish with you guys. For you guys, we want to give you that kickstart. We want to give you create that momentum by showing you just how simple the system is, by showing you how powerful the system is, by showing you by giving you the actionable steps, by tapping into the motivation that you have, right? And by tapping into your why, because the reason, like, people go to the gym when their doctor tells them that if they don't work out, they die. People go into the gym when they want to go become Mr. Universe. People go to the gym when they want to look great for their wedding. People want to go to the gym when they have a reason to go to the gym. Yeah. So we need to that's why we worked on your why. But then now, once you have your why, which you all worked on fantastically on Monday, then, and if you haven't yet, right, if you're watching these on the other platforms, come join the Facebook group and go into unit section. It's on the very top, or if you're on phone, also on the very top.
All the replays are there.
All the replays are there. Watch those. Get into the going. Binge watch the session so far. They're only like an hour and 20 minutes long. The afternoon session only like 45 minutes long. So binge watch them. Go get started.
Give yourself the gift of this week with us together.
Right.
What is 1 week and a half out of your life to really change the path, of your family for generations to come, like it has done for us, through land flipping. Land flipping has been the cornerstone of our wealth, continues to be, and we are excited to share with you guys. So first of all, I want to ask everyone, how is everyone feeling? Is everyone hearing us okay? Is everyone feeling pumped, ready to go, pen and paper ready? Does everyone have their homework ready up on session 3 so that we can start taking notes? Everyone is on board? Yeah, give me a heck yeah, let me know.
By the way, if you're on the other,
we have a winner
if
too.
If you are on the other platforms, please make sure you comment there too. We're watching them here, right? We're watching Zoom, we're watching Instagram, we're watching different platforms. So make sure you go post comments there too. Our team is there and excited to communicate.
Oh,
and so
audio's
on,
great,
right?
great,
Audio's
awesome.
great,
Thank
great.
you so much for the feedback. Really appreciate it.
So who is ready to get into session number 3 today? Who's ready to learn how to get those lists, where to get those lists, how to get those lists, what's the criteria for the list, how to organize your leads, right? How to organize everything for massive scale and 6 and 7 figure income. Now, 6 and 7 figure sounds like something abstract. What I mean by that, how would you feel if you all of a sudden make $250,000? Not all of a sudden, right? It's not overnight, right? That there's some work involved. But how would you feel if you make $250,000, $300,000 a year just doing deal after deal after deal after deal, right? This year, right? Still, and setting yourself. We're in September right now, right? So we are perfectly
positioned. It's going to be the perfect time for sellers that want money for Christmas, for the holidays, right, and whatever, to sell your land. To sell your land to you, and it's a perfect time for people to buy Christmas gifts and do things. Who is ready for this? Give us a heck yes right now. Yeah. Give us a heck yes. There's like almost 300 people already here on Facebook, and there's a bunch of people on the other platforms. Give us a heck yes right now, and I want to see this right now here. Okay? Show me the money. Ready as can be. Awesome. So first of all, we want to congratulate the winner from the $250 Amazon gift card yesterday. The winner for today is Mr. Jonathan Ellis. So congratulations, Jonathan.
Congratulations,
you are the winner. Tomorrow we're giving away a scholarship into one of our programs. So continue posting on the homeworks. Keep up, the
worth
showing up live.
Thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
Right? Worth thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. And so let's get started then. Let's get the pen and paper ready. We
right,
we
that's
are
it.
starting with tapping into millions of deals.
And make sure you use your workbook again,
Yeah.
right? And if you don't have it, comment in here that you still need a workbook. Our team is here, our concierges. Actually, what you want to do is you want to comment here, but then you want to send them a message. Facebook is weird. If we send everyone a message, Facebook basically shuts our ability off to send messages.
We go
So-
into Facebook prison.
we're going to Facebook prison. So therefore, the
Or
way
jail.
for that, if you want your homework, then post it here, but then also go send a direct message directly to one of our concierges. And who are they? There's Jennifer Clark here, right?
David Van.
David Van,
Michael Robert,
and
and
Stephanie
Stephanie
Seidler, right? They're posting here, they're saying hello here, and they're also one or the other is in the different platforms. So make sure you say, hey, if you need a workbook, let them know so we can get you that workbook. So now, with that said, let's get going.
Yeah.
Right?
So where do you acquire your land list
All right.
to tap into millions of deals? Because this, once you've selected the area, the next thing is to actually pick the counties and go and get lists of property owners in those counties that we're going to be sending direct mail to. Yeah. And that's what's going to start the avalanche of, or the beautiful gift of being overwhelmed with deal flow, with people calling you, where, you know, by the time you're talking to someone, you will have missed 5 other calls. So you're going to have a nice, you know, outgoing message as well for people. But that's what's going to get you to talk to the people that are raising their hand, that are non-wanters, and that are going to make you, you know, start the process of making offers. Because offers, that's what we're in the business of doing. Making offers, getting those offers accepted, making sure that our offers are not too low, too high, so that, you know, we can actually make money in the process.
Exactly right. So where do you get those lists from? Boom, right? So where do you get lists from? You get lists from, number one, there's online services where you get those lists from, and they're called list services, right? There's a whole bunch of them out there. Agent Pro 24/7, Rebo Gateway, Data Tree,
Did you already say Agent Pro?
CoreLogic, yep.
Yeah.
And so you can go out to them and
Hype
you basically.
Drive, I mean, I've heard so many
there's a ton.
county, directly from the county.
There's hundreds of these data services that you can get the data from. So that's one way. The second way you can get, when you basically just create an account, some of them are subscription based where you pay a certain amount every month, and then you get a certain amount of leads every month that you can download. Some of them are per the lead basis, and if you get a lower amount of leads, you pay a little bit more per lead, and as you get more, you pay less per lead. So it's easy for that. The next one is so you can go there and you can get the leads from there, literally at your fingertips. Again, what we talked about momentum. If you did the homework, if you created your why on Monday, if you selected some counties yesterday, and if you know which counties they are, and you go there today, you can literally go log on and today get some leads, and then basically tomorrow you can send them out, right? Or even tonight you can send them out, and guess what? By Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you might have phone calls already coming in, because remember, we get anywhere from like 2 to 12% response rates, so you can get phone calls already coming in. By next week, you can already potentially make offers here. So this is how fast this can go, guys. Right? So, but it's all about taking the initiative and getting the proper guidance and having the proper systems, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, the second way is you can actually contact, if you already identified a clear area that you are pretty darn sure that this is where you want to go, you can also go to a title company in that market and say like, hey, introduce yourself. So like, hey, I want to buy some properties in the market. Do you guys have access to data? Title companies have, as you guys don't know that, but a title company usually has the exact copy of a county database in their own servers, right? Yeah. So they get daily and weekly data feeds from the county, and they have basically the exact duplicate of the county. They have long passed that actually people, when you wanted to do a title search, that somebody from a title company actually had to walk down to the county and look through paper files and microfiche and things like that. That's 1800s, 1900s, 1950s, 1970s, 1980s, 90s. Nowadays, almost all counties have the entire data records. entire records of who owns what, where do they live, what have they paid for, and so on. It's all indexed, computerized. So they're feeding them on to the title companies, and the title companies can give you access to it, right? Number two, title companies typically do not charge for that because they want your business. Now, obviously, you want to give them your business because otherwise, I mean, you're just taking advantage of them. So,
and we want to have a much more long-term horizon to building our business and building the right relationships and right partnerships with the people, you know, that are going to continue to help you succeed in this business. So those who's that are coming with you, you know, remember from the very first session, the 4 pillars of business, you know, being the why, the who, the what, and the how, you know, this is part of your who's that are coming along with you. So you want to give them the business for sure.
And as I said, if you need the workbook, make sure you ask about the workbook. And by the way, this is the first time you attend any of our sessions. What we're talking about is land flipping. It's basically real estate without houses. Our strategy on the 30,000 foot level, 30 seconds, works such that we find the non-wanters, the people who do not want their properties anymore. They're willing to give up these properties for anywhere between 5 and 30 cents on the dollar. So literally a $30,000 property you can pick up for $3,000, $4,000 in many cases, and then you turn around and sell this property. And the beauty of it, because it's land, it's sight unseen. You don't have to ever go see the property. Yeah. There's no tenants, there's no toilets, there's no termites, there's no mortgages, there's no repairs, there's no contractors, there's no mold, there's no roofs, there's no repairs, there's none of the stuff you deal with in the house world, and best of all, there's no competition. Now, do you come across a couple
no shit sandwich from
no shit sandwich from the houses, right? No surprises, no things. You just have a deal that is worth $30,000. You get it for $3,000. You go sell it in 2 different ways, then, right? You don't even have to go see it because Google Maps, Google Earth, GIS, Geographic Information Systems, all show you the information. Then you go from the comfort of your home, right here for us. You go and turn around and list those properties on social media platforms, which we're going to talk about Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, right? We're going to talk all about selling the property, tying up the deal, putting it all together, and you're selling them for let's say this property, you sell it for $15,000 to $20,000 for cash, which is a smoking deal. So you make about a $10,000 to $15,000, $10,000 to $12,000 profit on this thing, or $10,000 to $15,000 profit, or you sell it with seller financing at full market value with a $5,000 to $6,000 down payment. So more is a down payment that you actually pay for the property, and then cash flow for the next 10 years, making $50,000 to $60,000 on a same deal that you basically have no money in the deal. Who is excited about that? Give us a heck yes. Give us a heck yes. Give us a heck yes on Instagram, on Zoom, on Facebook. I want to hear about how this is the exciting thing. This is what allowed us to do 4,000 deals, because we don't have to deal with repairs. We don't have to deal with contractors. We don't have to leave the house to go see these properties, or even if it's redundant, because it's land, you can do this location independent from all over the world. We have students in Canada that a couple that has a brick and mortar store that during COVID was shut down, and they pivoted to our land business, and within 5 months they made $500,000 in cash, equity, and cash flow from deals that they have done from Canada in the United States. Yeah. We got students, my own brother has over $200,000, $150,000 in profits that he's about to make right now. He just started right now and is doing this. He watched us for 18 years, but once he realized that he can actually do this remotely, he jumped on it, and he and his wife jumped on it, and they're now having their first deals on a contract. Yeah. It just started a few months ago.
We actually have in our coaching students that have now become, coaches as well. People that, started with this being their side hustle, and it has now become their main hustle, like Christina Walls, who, went ahead and sold her business earlier this year because she had made more in profits in the first Q1 of 2020 than in her other business. We have, the Kalerts as well. They had a medical supply business. They went ahead and sold that business to focus on one singular activity, which is land flipping.
And we have people that were principals in schools and quit their jobs and just basically went straight into doing.
Actually, I just saw Kate Rose is here. She's a broker.
She made $95,000 in basically the last 6 months.
In the last 6 months.
Well, in the last 9 months, but she had to take a break for 3 months because she had to deal with something else in her life. So then she picked it back up. So in actively doing this business for 6 months, part-time, while having another business, she made $95,000. It just keeps going and going and going. And Megan right now is working on a $137,000 deal that's going on. So this is this is just, and I love what Jennifer's saying. I'm extremely glad to gain this knowledge. Jesus gang, hallelujah, mom. Wonderful. So let's go. So great. So list services and title companies. The third one is, as Michelle already kind of threw in earlier, was the counties themselves. Those are the third. Those is the third kind of way that you can list source provider. Now, we do not recommend that you go to the county right at the beginning, because the county lists are expansive. They're huge. You get everything that they have, but sometimes they cost $300, $400 or so. And it's easier, as we talked about yesterday. You want to pick 6 to 8 counties. You want to send 500 to 750 letters per county, right? It's starting to come together, guys, right? Every session builds on top of the other one, right? So if you haven't watched the other ones, go binge watch session Monday and Tuesday here. And also, by the way,
you can also catch up over the weekend, guys.
You can jump, but you want to catch up quickly,
but you want to do everything humanly possible to stay at our pace.
Right, because all these videos are going away on Tuesday of next week.
Yeah.
So don't procrastinate, because every day there's 2 of them, so don't fall too much behind. So the thing is, and even yesterday's session was actually about some more mastery things. Yesterday afternoon session, we evaluated some really ninja strategies to get even more deals and so on. They deviated a little bit of what we usually do, but we just wanted to show you what happens when you, for example, work with us in coaching, that we can open up all kinds of avenues to literally take your business from wherever you get it to like the stratosphere here.
Absolutely, because this, what we're teaching you right now, is for you if you have done, this business already in a small scale. If you're a newbie, this is for you as well. If you've had success or failures in other business, this is for you. If you've invested in other programs, that were not even designed for a beginning investor to begin with, this is also for you. Land is really the simplification.
And land is sexy again. So and Linda, yes, LandWatch is a good source to look for areas, as we showed in the afternoon session here. So, but again, consume it quickly, go through there. But the counties, again, because we're picking 6 to 8 counties, we're sending out 500 to 700 testimonials to those.
In parallel,
ideally, right? Not like one and then you see what results it brings, because then 3-4 weeks have passed. And then the other one, and if Murphy's Law hits, which says that everything that can go wrong goes wrong, then you're all of a sudden only county 4 perhaps is successful, so you wasted a few weeks. Send them in parallel. It's like 1,000 level in week 1, 500, 500. Week 2, 1,000 again. Week 3, 1,000. Week 4, 1,000. And basically within 4 weeks, you have tested all the counties.
Guys, this testing in parallel is so important, because I don't know if you guys know about it, but I think we may have alluded, there's 4 stages to every business, to growing a business. And the very first stage is startup. Most businesses struggle here. 80% of businesses fail here because of what Jack just said. They don't have their processes, they don't have systems, they have limited resources, and they're trying to figure out a model. So don't try to figure out or reinvent. We're already telling you, go there, test in parallel, so we can get to that very first deal as quickly as possible, before anything of, this disillusioned learner kicks in, you know what I mean?
Right.
We want to continue moving forward very, very quickly. The second stage of business, of growing a business, is build up. Here is when you have your first deal done, or you have your first, couple of deals done, and you're building up with each and every deal capability. You're increasing your number of deals, is going up, it's going rapidly, and you may be working your butt off at this point and working on the wrong activities. Like Mike and Jack showed yesterday, there's ways that you can, through systems, through metrics, focus on the right activities so that you don't get burned out in stage 2, of growing a business. Stage 3 is actually building out all the processes, systems, so that you can accomplish more deals in less time. Start incorporating some delegation, of non-critical tasks that are not profit producing. You, as the CEO of your business, you must be focus on the stuff that is moving the needle the most, and so at this point, you start delegating. Then
Right.
there's the fourth stage, which is mastery, where cash flow is already coming in consistently, predictably. And we want you to get to this fourth one as quickly as possible, because that's what we're all doing this for. That's what your whys were for,
Right.
was to have freedom, was to go out there and accomplish, what you know that you're put in this earth to do, to really live a life filled with purpose, not in the 9 to 5 grind in a cubicle. Well, right now, thank goodness, you're at home if you're not in a cubicle, but that's where we're wanting to get you. So important that we right now in this stage 1 and 2, of building a business, of growing a business, of these 4 stages of growth, where most businesses fail, that we get you over that hurdle as quickly as possible.
Right. And what we're doing right now this week, over these 9 days, is you get you to literally to understand stage 1 and get you to really go and get into the startup mode and get you beyond the startup mode into the build up and into the other modes and show you the success. And we have
UPS guy.
UPS or Amazon guy is coming by. I don't think I ordered anything.
I wonder what toys Jack is ordering.
I guess I'm ordering too much on Amazon.
Yes.
But anyway, so this is what we want you to those that work with us, those that work with us, who work with us, we take them to the mastery, right? Because as I said, it's 4 parts that we focus on, and there's it's the startup, it's the build up, it's the build out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the mastery, because ultimately you want to get to mastery. And this is what this is all about. It's all about getting you to that mastery, okay? So again, if you don't have your concierge, I love that you guys actually are posting about that. Who's my concierge? I need a concierge. I need a workbook, because that allows our team to actually reach out to you and get you that going.
Yeah,
right?
so the third one, I don't know if Maria
we talked about the
Islas-
county.
Yeah.
The county now. County
County
lists
is the third.
can be humongous. They can cost a few $100s. So what we recommend is that at the beginning you use the first one, the list service or the title company. Get
out of the
going,
gates.
right? To get out of the gate, get your first few deals done, and then once you're identified which are the counties and the areas that you get the most deals from, that's when you then go and say okay, give me the county database, because instead of paying 5 cents for a record, let's say if you want to get 10,000 records, then that's what is that? That's 10,000. That's $500 for 10,000 records. Instead, you go and get a county list for $300 that has not 5,000 but 50,000 records in it, right? And all of a sudden, you're basically getting a deal for a quarter for less than you're getting a lead for less than a cent. Yeah. So therefore it becomes much more efficient, much cheaper to do this, and you have so much more leads to go after. Okay. So the next question after that is how to filter these lists, right? How the 3 filters to apply to land lists in order to process faster and to generate better leads. Well, first of all,
guys, pay attention. We had about a week ago a gentleman post here, that he didn't pay attention to this part. And he wasted his marketing dollars on the wrong count, or maybe it was the right county, but on the wrong property owners. So listen up.
Yeah, by the way, Stephanie's right. Most county lists don't cost more than $100 in smaller counties, but in the bigger ones they can go to 300, 400, 500 $500.
At least here in Maricopa County.
The small counties, usually in states where there's a lot of small counties, the county lists are really cheap, but also then they don't have that many records on there. So it's a lot of our students stick with list services, and once they hone in on a county, they just go and get more. Now, Stephen says, I live in Hollywood. It doesn't matter where you live, Stephen, right? You don't have to do this where you live. It's one of the key things here. People say well, I live in New York City. There's no land here.
When a seller calls, you're not going to have to drive to the house and inspect the house and assess repairs and estimate, what your mail is going to be, because with land you don't have to. We have Google Earth, we can do everything completely virtually and remotely.
We have people living in Colombia and in Peru. There's a couple living in Peru. They went through our coaching program. They're doing lots of deals here. They live in Peru because they love the lifestyle there. They love the cost of living. They love the ambiance.
Families
there, I think, for her. And they're doing deals from Peru in the United States. They're not going to be able to. It doesn't matter where it is in the United States. They don't have to be restricted to Hollywood or to New Jersey or to Florida or to Texas or to Wisconsin. They just go where they see the best deals happening, right? And that's what you want to do too, because again, you got to get it out of your mind. You got to unlearn some of the house stuff, because we're doing this all virtually. In the housing world, if you got to go meet the seller somewhere, you got to go open the door for an inspector to go look at the properties.
Yeah.
You got to go meet the contractors, get multiple of them to give you quotes on what it would cost to rehab that house. That's completely out of the door, out of the window over here. We don't deal with any of that stuff. That is, can somebody say lifestyle business? Absolutely. This is the ultimate lifestyle business. Like Justin Harris, one of our former coaches, he's traveling like, well, when COVID allows it again, but prior to COVID, he was traveling like 3-4 times a year for 6 weeks through Asia. And in one of these trips, he came back $54,000 richer than when he left, because while he was gone, he made deals for $54,000 cash profit in his pocket when he came back. So it doesn't matter where you are. You want to go live on the Bahamas? You want to go live on Fiji? You want to go live in Australia? You want to go live in Italy and sit in the street cafes drinking wine and eating pizza and eating pasta and stuff like that? While carbs.
We've been not eating carbs, so don't talk about carbs.
Yeah. So, but do you want to do that? Do you want to go roam the streets of Rome? No pun intended. And do deals in the United States? We have students doing that, right? There's one student that is traveling with his beautiful dog around Europe for like 2 years already, doing deal after deal after deal in the United States. So if your kids are out of the house, heck, the world is your playground with this method.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Let's go on though. How to filter these lists. So the first filter is very, very simple. It's land only. Of course, I mean, it's a no-brainer, but I can't tell you how many people do that wrong. They pick it only by value, and all of a sudden they get a bunch of crappy houses in there, because typically below $100,000 houses are not the prettiest houses, right? And yet below $100,000 houses are usually not houses that you want to do anything with, because it's just they're usually in neighborhoods where rehabbing doesn't make sense. So you want to first select your criteria is eliminate everything that is not a house, period, or that is not a land, Only focus on land. Number 2, by value, right? Now, to clarify, by market value, not assessed value. For example, assessed values can have a very wide-ranging relationship with market value, but they typically do have a relationship with market value. So in other words, for example, if like what you need to do before you go select your list is you need to make one phone call to a county in that state and just ask for the assessor's office, the deputy assessor or the assessor himself, and just or herself, and just say like, hey, I'm inquiring about the relationship between assessed value and market value. Typically, if a property is worth $100,000, what do you assess it at? And they'll tell you, because they usually have like an assessment key, an assessment ratio that translates into something. Now, if you do this in Florida, assessed values are like 90% of market value. If you do this in Colorado, they're also about 90% of market value.
Here in Arizona?
You do this in Arizona, they're about 2/3 of market value.
Yeah.
You do this in Arkansas, they're 20% of market value. So you need to, in your searches, you need to adjust for that. So in other words, if you want to get properties that have between $5,000 and $200,000 in market value. So in Arizona, I would pick properties that have an assessed value of $3,000 to about $130,000 or $140,000, because that equals $3,000 or $3,500 is 2/3 of $5,000, and $130,000 or $140,000 is 2/3 of $200,000. So therefore, that makes sense. In Florida and in Colorado, I would pick $4,000 to $180,000, because that translates into market values of $5,000 to $200,000, right? So we're giving you not just the what here, we're giving you the exact steps of what you need to do, the details of what you need to do, right?
Is that
and then
village rate?
and then they're having some sideways conversation over here about additional things here,
Okay.
but. So then, and then what we also
You
want to
guys
do,
are definitely interacting, not just with us, but with each other. That's awesome.
Right. And then the third way you want to select this is we do want to go after out of state owners first. Now that doesn't mean we don't ever go after in-state owners, right? It doesn't mean you don't ever go after in-state owners. It means we go after out-of-state owners first, right? So Jason Perry, Jason and somebody else asked, like, how do you get the market value? I just said you call the county, because this is not about getting the market value of every single property. We're gonna cover that later on this week, right? This is about getting the relationship overall between assessed value and general market value in that county,
area that you selected yesterday,
county or in that state that you selected yesterday. Now, is this relationship 100% reliable? No, but it doesn't have to be 100% reliable, right? You need to be that we're not talking about this property is corner lot. What is it worth? For that, you got to do a different path. We wanted to know overall in the entire county, in the entire state. If I look at a database of records from that to a list service, what do I pick? What value ranges do I pick? Yeah. Because if I go in Arkansas and if I pick $5,000 to $200,000 assessed value, what I'm really getting is properties that on average are worth 5 times as much, because the assessed value in Arkansas is only 20% of market value. Right? Does that make sense? Right? Hope that makes sense. So what you need to do before you go into these counties is you need to think, capiche, right? What you need to do is you need to quickly figure out, you need to call the county and say like, hey, what is the relationship between market value and assessed value here? And they tell you, well, it's 50%. We assess generally speaking, just overall speaking, we're assessing properties at 50% of the market value. Very good. Now you go to your data service and you pick properties that have an assessed value of $2,500 to $100,000, because that equivalents a market value of 50% more, right? Of double that, of $5,000 to $200,000, right? Makes sense. You just gotta apply that a little bit. And then, because otherwise you end up with either properties that are worth too little or properties that are worth way too high, right? So that's how you do that. And then
on either side of that spectrum, whether too high or too low, it's not going to be property that you're going to be able then to move very quickly, because it's either going to be junk or it's going to be too high price. You're not going to even get your offers accepted, number one, or it's going to be, a different or a smaller pooler of buyers for the higher price property. So we want you to get to the wins quicker. Yeah.
Right. So Laura says like, I don't capiche. But so Laura, if you don't capiche, reach out to one of our concierges. They can explain it to you again, because
David, Van, Michael, I mean, everyone here is doing land flipping 100%, you know, of the time. They're 100% in our team, but they are also full-time land flippers that have been doing this.
We are here on a mission to change 1,000 people's lives at the level of $1 million. Actually, you soon probably need to increase that to more than 1,000. Yeah, but we are probably approaching it very soon. But the thing is, so we are here to change your life and help you generate 6- and 7-figure profits.
With people that are actually eating their own cooking.
Right.
You know?
So who would we be as leaders if we go out here and tell you, you got to do this and make all this money, if we don't want our own team to do the same thing?
Yeah.
Of course we want our own team to do the same thing. We encourage everyone in our entire company to also land flip, and a lot of our team members are land flipping. Some are land flipping with their family, some have partnered with somebody, a lot of them, like Jennifer is doing land deals, Stephanie's doing land deals, Michael is doing land deals, David is doing land deals, Alex is doing land deals. I mean, it's like everyone, all our coaches obviously are doing many land deals. So this is like, we celebrate our own team when they make so freaking much money that they can't afford to work for us anymore, right? So it's like, obviously many of them still already make so much money, but they still love working with us. They still continue working with us because they want to bless others in their thing. Exactly.
With what they have been able to accomplish through land flipping, they want to turn around now and look and, extend that, blessing beyond themselves, you know what I mean? And this is about what this is all about. It's about recirculating wealth, about, creating a path, illuminating a path for all of you, and helping, you rise as well.
Because we already have 400 apartment complex units, we already have houses, we have commercial property, we have our own land flipping operation that throws in cash. We are already set for the rest of our lives and for our daughter's life and for her daughter's lives, right? Or for her children's lives. So we are set in life. We can set off in the sunset. The reason why we're doing this, guys, is because so you become successful. This is our legacy game, right? So we want to make sure. So what else do we have here? Let's move on. So, again, now we're in the filters. Land only, $5 to $200,000 in value, and first made to out-of-state owners. Now, if there's not enough out-of-state owners, you backfill the rest of what you need to send out letters to with in-state owners, right? With in-state owners, it makes sense. And then the next thing is now, how do you get your mailings out, right? What do you want to do there? What is the next? I think that's the next question, right? How do you best mail your letters out? Now, we recommend that you do not do this yourself. We do not recommend that we don't recommend that you sit around the kitchen table, fold stuff, seal and lick. We have done this when we started out, right?
That's why,
and it works. And every time we send a batch of letters out, we gave it a kiss. It's like, please, let there be deals in there. And we dropped it off in the mailbox. And it's cute and it's fun. But it's actually more expensive than doing it with a professional mailing house. So we recommend mailing houses.
Only if you don't value your time will you be doing this, in-house.
Will you be doing this yourself, right?
Yeah.
But you can obviously get yourself a good printer that has also some capability to put like a stack of envelopes in, and then print out the letters, print out the envelopes, fold them, stuff them, seal them, put them in, and then get them out in the mail, get some nice stamps on that, send them out there, and that of course works, right? If you want to do that, you can. And if you're very limited in budget, that might be the way to go. If you only send out 100 to 200 a week, then send them out yourself, right? Just print them out in the evening, sign them personally, follow them up, send them out. But if you can send out at least, let's say, a few hundred letters, like 500, 700 letters at a time, it is actually cheaper than the cost of that you can buy the materials and the stamp for if you use a mailing house. And there's a few mailing houses we recommend, like for example, lpgletters.com, LPG Mailer, or we actually have a system, because ideally you want to completely integrate that all and outsource it and automate it yourself. Because ideally, and we have a system that actually integrates all of that together, that you literally can go and
you don't have to deal with Excel spreadsheets. You don't have to deal with Word document, to try to do a mail merge.
You literally get your data right from one of the data sources we already talked about. You load it directly into the system. From the system, you send it directly to the mailing house, all within one system. So with just a few mouse clicks and a few button clicks and a couple of selections.
And we're working hard on also an integration with the data provider as well.
Right, and that's actually all happening in the next couple of weeks. This is all.
I know Alex is putting
so by the time
by
the time that you're ready for that, literally this is all integrated. So I'll talk to you about that a little bit in just a moment, a little bit more. So all of this is integrated. And what you also want to use is you want to use our performance proven land profit performance proven letters. That's how we call them, right? So you don't want to handwrite anything here, guys, right? This is not a handwriting deal. Brian says, like, my hand hurts after writing 25 envelopes. No. You want to stick the envelopes in a printer and have them printed out, right? Or labels, but I prefer having them printed on the printer, printing it on the envelopes. Or ideally, use the mailing house, right? And again, you can systemize that. You can automate the mail merge. You don't want to do figuring out with Excel spreadsheets and Word.
No postcards, please. There's no way to make a postcard not look like junk. They go immediately into the garbage. When I do postcards, please, if you've done this in the housing world, don't do it. It's gonna get you. It's not.
Particularly right now in the election environment, you don't want to use postcards, because I get like 25 postcards bashing one or the other political party all day long. So it's like, and I don't even look at them. The postcard goes straight in the trash, right? Yeah. So letters are the way to go, particularly letters that look very nice, so not window envelopes and so on. But again, we have already partnered with mailing houses. They're fully integrated with us, that you literally just go and send those letters out. Now, what do you write in the letter? You want to use our land profit performance proven letter. So we have spent over 4,000 deals. We have spent hundreds or thousands of iterations of a letter. We tried letter A, and then we sent out 500 or 1,000 letters with letter A, and we changed one sentence in it and sent the letter B, basically, which is the same letter with one sentence change, to another 1,000 people. Then we compared to see which letter performed better, right? So the one that performed better we took, and we sent the other one we discarded. Then we took that one, changed one other sentence. Again, created two versions of it, sent 1,000 letters out each. And that's called split testing. We have done that hundreds of times, always increasing the performance of our letter. Again, making it better and better and better and better until we could no longer improve it any further. And we'll talk to you later on, Grant. You should be using our letter for that, right? And so you don't have to think about what to write. It's already there for you, right? You don't have to think about anything.
Yes, I believe you can change the font. Somebody's asking about the change.
Oh yeah, you can change the font. You can play with those little things, but other than that, don't change the letter. Like the number one mistake that everyone makes is that they try this on their own, right? They try this on their own. Either write up their own
letter, or sometimes they get our letter and then they're like, oh no, let me change this. And I'm like, why change it when
And then they come back to us and say like, well, something's not working. Whereas our very first question is always, have you been sending out our letter exactly as it is? If the answer is no, it's like, go back, write our letter how it is, and then guess what? Things work afterwards.
The only thing that you change on that is that you change from our phone number to your phone number. Otherwise, we are going to be getting your phone calls, which has happened.
Of course,
it's funny, guys, but it's happened. Somebody's forgotten to change the phone number, and they left our phone number there, and now, we received our calls. Right. So that's the only thing that you're going to change there.
Right. So we struggled up a long time until we figured out. The very first time we sent out 400 letters with just a letter I wrote up, like a crappy letter early on, we got like 2 people calling us. Then when we got the letter right, we get like 5, 10, 15% response rates. Not every time. Sometimes it's only a couple of percent response rates. But if you send 1,000 letters, you should easily getting like 20, 30 phone calls on that. And all of that should at least come one deal or so, and so on. So I'll talk to you later on how you get that letter, and we'll talk to you more over the course of the week.
Yeah.
Next question is.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, in the not changing of the letter, not wanting to reinvent the wheel, is that if you've been working hard and you have nothing to show for, we already have everything designed for you to be, on the right path, on the right track, condensing or collapsing time. I know somebody corrected me the other day. Because we're gonna be saving you all the mistakes, the time, the landmines that you as a rookie are gonna be making. So please don't reinvent it. Yeah. Do not change our letter. Leave it as is.
Right, exactly. So now the next question is, how will you organize your deal flow? Well, I already started talking about it. It's all about systems, organization, and automation and implementation, right? It's about systems, organization, organization and automation goes together. So systems, automation, and implementation, if I want to do that. So these are the 3 things that is really important. You want to write that down. Systems, automation, not optimization, now I sound like George W. Bush. Systems, automation, and implementation, right? Yeah. So systems, automation, and implementation.
And training.
So, and implementation is training, basically.
Yeah.
Implementation means you got to get the training to actually implement that. So what we have created, right, is so you're really, you want to have, we already have a lot of these tools for you. So, because what that means, if you have systems in place that you don't need to reinvent the wheel, you just follow a proven path, then that leads to the ability to scale, and it leads to efficiency. Now, what does scale mean? Scale means not just doing one deal. Scale means everyone can do one deal, right? Even the blind, in Germany say, even the blind chicken finds a corn occasionally, right? So, everyone can find a deal.
I love these. He constantly have these that he translates from German
which
into English.
Totally does not work. Translating German sayings into English does not work usually. But anyway, but it leads to scale. Scale means having a repeatable business system that is not a treasure hunt. Right? That is a system that allows you to create so many deals in your part-time or full-time, whichever way you want it, that it truly replaces your income and 10x replaces your income. Who wants that, right? Yeah. Now then, it's the ability to do more. Scale basically means the ability to do more. right? Now, what does efficiency
in less
mean?
time with less resources.
Well, actually, that's what efficiency means.
Yeah.
Scale just means doing more. Efficiency, doing more with less. Again, if you want to compare it to the housing area, the houses is...
There's a German.
Das stimmt, das sagt man. Yeah, there we go. Auch ein blindes Huhn findet mal ein Korn. Genau. That's the German way of saying it. But you can also say, yes. So now there are already some people taking that into the alcohol path, right? that even a blind chicken drinks a corn, and the corn is a German word for schnapps, for alcohol, for basically. And so I know Germans say that too, so deviating the thing. But let's get back to land, okay? So actually efficiency actually means doing more with less. And again, if you want to compare it to the house world, in the house world, you have to do a lot to get a deal, and then that deal requires a lot to get it done. In the land world, you have to you have to send in the house world. Let's go back to the house world. In the house world, you have to send 10 to 20,000 mail pieces to get a deal done. You have to do cold calling. You have to, I get like 5 phone calls a week from somebody wanting to buy one of our rental houses because they keep calling me and it's like, I'm not interested in selling, leave me alone, right? And so on. And then you have to meet somebody. You have to meet with the seller in the kitchen table, make them cry until they give you enough discount on the price. You get to hardball them, and you have to be a negotiation master, and you have to all those different things. Then you have to estimate repairs, and even if you wholesale it, then you have to wholesale it and make money with that thing. So okay, in the housing world, in the land world. Our average students, once it's dialed in, gets a deal for every about 400 to 700 letters that they send out. At the beginning can be a little more, but my brother sent out 2,500 letters and he has 5 deals, actually 7 deals on a contract right now, right? So you get for every 400 to 700 deals, you get letters, you get a deal. The effort is way lower to get a deal. Then flipping the deal, the effort is way lower to flip the deal because you don't have to meet somebody. You do it all by mail. We send our offers by mail. We list our properties from the home, for comfort of our home. So that's what it's all about, right? Doing more with less. So what we do need is systems, though, and that was the question: how will you organize your deal flow? What systems
to come
you need?
up with comp analysis quickly, to have an offer calculator built in,
right.
Things that are gonna maximize basically your result and minimize the time that you spend on non-critical activities.
You need a phone number, you need a mailing system, you need a computer system to have it all organized, and you need proper training, obviously, in the context of this business to get it all going. And what you also want to do is you want to actually think with the end in mind. You want to think with the end in mind. Reverse engineer. The goal here is not just one deal. Everyone can get one deal. And again, yesterday's afternoon session, we already talked about like those who really want to create master. We talked about strategies to find more deals, make more money per deal, I want an empire that buys multiple. But if you've never done a deal yet, then you want to focus on the principles and on the fundamentals of this business in order to create a system that can get you that deal after deal after deal, that allows you to get deal after deal after deal done and make those $15,000, $20,000 checks on an ongoing basis. So the goal is not, let me just figure out how to get this first deal. The goal is put something in place that prepares you and enables you and trains you and gives you the tools at your hand, that you can go shoot right out the gates and get done within a few months, get those deals done, and within a year get to this high six-figure, multiple six-figure business. That's the goal here. And for that, you need education, you need systems in place, and you need implementation, and so on. And then think about the sellers; they really want to get out of their deals. So we are providing a solution for these sellers, and your knowledge about this business, right, gives you the ability to be their solution. Like a Melody, I think.
Really step up, the world right now is crying out for leaders that are willing to step up and serve and bring value, and that's
be
exactly
part of the solution, not the problem.
And that's what you will be doing, for sellers in a market that is otherwise incredibly illiquid. You will become a market maker in whatever areas you're working on, and you'll also turn around and be, with a servant heart, serving your buyers, families that want to have, a place to go out camping or RV or playing or fishing or whatever it is, a person that wants to buy a piece of land for retirement on the path of growth of a city, a builder that, is also trying to make ends meet and make, something for their family also works. So you will be serving on either end, and the world is crying for you to step into that leadership.
Exactly, because those buyers, they want a place to build their home or their cabin, get out of COVID. It's just like place to retire to and so on. You can even offer, you can make it easy for them, right? You even potentially down the road can offer credit card processing for their payments or for their down payments and so on, ACH payments and things like that. And so give us a comment if you love where this is going right now. But also I want to tell you at this point a quick story here about like you really want to soar. You want to look at this business as something that is like gives you the ability to finally break out of where you are and soar like a freaking eagle, because we have been the world, the surroundings, the world has conditioned us to actually think that we are chickens. Right, so there's a story about.
But this is the chicken.
It seems to be the subject of the thing here, the chicken. But actually, there's a story I want to share with you. That's like a funny story that actually one of our coaches told us one time. And Mike Smyer was on there yesterday, told me that story. The story about this farm, but this guy, he's like this bird expert, comes into town and he loves exotic birds, and he sits down in the diner and he asks the people around him, so is there any birds here that I like to see? He's like, well, I don't know about birds, but down the road, there's this farmer, he has this eagle down there that thinks it's a chicken. He's like, what do you mean about it? He's like, yeah, it's a bald eagle, American bald eagle, and he thinks it's a chicken, so just go see it. And he's like, what's going on? So he goes to the farmer, and the farmer says, like, comes up in his overall and says, like, hey, I would like to see, I was told that you have some really special looking bird here, like an eagle. It's like, I ain't got no eagle, I got a whole bunch of chickens. Well, happy to show them to you. So he shows him there. There's a big chicken coop full of chickens, and in between sits this beautiful, big, bald, majestic bald eagle, and just picks at the corn and the stuff like any other chickens around there. And he's like, what's going on? Why is this, like, this is now no chicken, this is an eagle. And he's like, no, you tell me whatever you want, this is a chicken, says the farmer. Like, and he's like, no, this is an eagle, look at it. He's like, no, it's a chicken, let me show you. He takes the eagle, he puts it up on the chicken's coop, and the eagle's just like, flutters down and goes, picks again, right? He's like, oh my God, this is kind of crazy. Like, let me prove you that this is an eagle. It's like, well, sure, let's prove him. So he takes the eagle and he puts him like he puts him on a windmill tower or so, something that they have there. It's like, and he puts it down and the eagle flutters down again. He's like, see, I told you, it's a chicken. It's like, no, okay, let's do something else. Let's go on the highest mountain. So he takes the eagle on the highest mountain and he throws him off the mountain. And it's a part cliff when the eagle starts falling, and all of a sudden the eagle, like you hear this big scream, and the eagle spreads his wings, and the eagle goes up. And the eagle starts flying, and the eagle goes like, wah, and starts flying.
I like the special
and circling
effects.
thing. Yeah, there's special effects going on here. And you know what? Finally, the eagle remembered that he really is an eagle. Isn't that a story that translates into who we all are, how we all grew up, right? We grew up thinking that we are chickens, right? Not because our parents were incredibly supportive, perhaps your family perhaps was incredibly supportive, but society still taught you, your school counseling, like career advisor, still told you, you're no candidate for college, you should be doing this. You're not candidate for Harvard, you should be doing this. You should be, people have told you, oh, just like don't deviate out of where you should be, right? Your peer group told you, don't deviate, don't be different, don't step out. What are you doing? We love going drinking all weekend long. Hey, we're having fun. We love playing bunco and pool and things all week long, right? But you know that you are an eagle, right? They are eagles too, they just don't know it, right? So, but it's not your responsibility to save them. It's your responsibility to save yourself.
There is no coincidence that you're here right now.
Right? There's no coincidence that you're here right now. We are all eagles, guys, and we need to fly because you are here. And the reason you are here and you're watching us on Instagram and you're watching us on Zoom means that you are an eagle, and you gotta freaking remember that. And in order to be an eagle, you gotta spread your wings. You gotta go and do what it takes in order to be that eagle. And Land Profit Eagles, says
yes,
Michael.
and go for mastery, absolutely.
Right. So in our world, translated, that means that in order to spread your wings, you don't just want to go try to one deal. You want to go and create, you want to use all the tools that you can have, all the education that you can have. And for example, one of the tools that we'll talk more about over the next few days is the automation and systemization that we have, that we call the Investment Dominator, right? We have a tool.
It's part of our Land Profit Maximizer, basically.
Yeah, it's one of our Land Profit Maximizer program. And by the way, if anyone wants to work with us, with one of our programs already, if anyone wants to work with us, you can say.
Or in coaching,
or in
one-on-one
coaching, or with one of the programs that we do have that helps you soar. Put in skip the line right now, right? We're not talking about it much right now, but put in skip the line if you already know that you want to work with us in one of these educational programs, right? And not just education, but this is like soaring programs, right?
Actually, implementation, because we are with you every step of the way. Our company, our coaching company, leads with care and concern. That is actually our superpower. That is what allows us to create and churn out story after story of success inside of this community. This community, it didn't just happen to be an oasis of success. It has been designed to be that way on the background because we actually care. It's not the profitable way to, as an educator, but that's the right way to do it, to actually care about the success.
We have a
of
team of coaches, a team of accountability partners, a team of support, a team of, we're all around you, and just the level of support and of guidance and hand-holding we give you guys is just unheard of in the industry. Unheard of really in any industry for that matter, because that's just the way it is. We describe, we literally, the Investment Dominator is one of the pieces which literally automates the data getting, automates the mail merge, automates getting these, it puts all your different leads into different stages of where they are, right? It allows you to get comparables right there, allows you to send out letters right there. It allows you to generate offers. We just updated our offer based on the market right now. We updated and fine-tuned the percentages that we recommend you offer. So you don't even have to guess what you're going to offer on a deal. We literally 2 days ago updated the software, upgraded our tools with new percentages just to give it a try. And again, it's really the Rolls-Royce of real estate. Talking about Rolls-Royce, we have students that went through our program and literally a year later showed up at one of our live events with a Rolls-Royce Phantom convertible and have done.
He's part of this community. He might be watching us right now.
And have done hundreds of deals a year since then. So again, scale, guys, is the key here. Scale is the key. Because if you do 3 to 5 deals a month, which is anyone can do that almost part-time. It's 5 deals, it can become depending. When you have a couple of VAs or one VA, it's still part-time. Mike Smyer saw it yesterday that he quadrupled his business last year, and he still is doing it's mostly automated. That's the kind of things that we show you in our programs. But if you do 3 to 5 deals a month, that equals at least a high 6-figure income, at least a 6-figure income per year. On the lower end, that's more like $200,000. On the higher end, it's probably like $600,000-$700,000. But I would say heck yes if you can live on $200,000 to $700,000 a year, right? Yeah. That pretty much covers everyone in the world. You get catapulted right away into the top 2-3% earners in the country without having to spend $400,000 on a franchise that only makes you 60 grand a year. As I said yesterday, a typical Subway franchise costs 400 grand and it makes you $60,000 a year, but it requires you to work 100 hours. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to do that. This makes sense.
Yeah, and tools, guys, are not the only thing, because if you have a tool but you don't know how to use it, it's going to be of no use. You're going to be underutilizing that tool. So training is so important. The gentleman that Jack just described, with the Rolls-Royce, he then, months or, a year later brought his own children, which is an incredible honor for us, that he now is entrusting us with the next generation for us to train his children as well in continuing to, to help him build and continue to scale his business and bring it to the next level.
So again, if you want to skip the line to work with us in coaching or in one of our Land Profit Maximizer trainings or combinations, please make sure you say skip the line so we can reach out with you and can be the first ones to get access to all the bonuses and things like that that we currently offer. But again, repeat after me too. Scale equals freedom.
Yeah.
Right? And secondly, mastery
somebody
equals
post that?
freedom. Right? Scale equals freedom. Mastery equals freedom. That's what you want to do. That's where you can do, heck, what we do, what many of our students do. Like where it allows us under normal circumstances to spend our entire summer in Europe. Right?
Yeah.
So do not, because when we started out, we had jobs with 2 weeks vacation and barely enough money to pay the mortgage on a simple starter home and pay the car payments on the two cars that we had, because we had to drive off in different directions, or I had to leave my car in the airport all the time, right? And we didn't have anything to look forward to other than a life of work and just basically being tired at night and seeing each other on the weekend.
Yeah.
So we rejected that notion of being sentenced to a life like that.
Yeah.
We instead decided that the life we want is a life that we want to live on our terms. That is a life that allows us to stay in contact with our family,
Yeah.
with our friends. Like next year, my little nephew is turning 4 years old. Guess what? We're gonna be there,
Yeah.
right? And then 4 weeks
That
later,
allows me to care for my mother. You know, I was raised by a single mom, and now I have the privilege now of caring for her, you know, in her old age. And
right.
it
And
would
if
have
if down the road we need to get somebody to truly take care of, like a nurse or something like that, it's not a problem. It's done. It can be done. If we have the house to take care of her, we have the space to take care of her, we have the finances to take care of her, and the same for my parents, for that matter, right? So it's that what you want. Then you wanna definitely continue looking at us. Again, we have an afternoon session coming up this afternoon.
This afternoon, we're actually at 2 p.m. We're covering the 4 C's of success. You know, this is the journey that all entrepreneurs go through. You definitely want to be there. I know they're going to be talking a little bit about systems as well. We are going to be talking about also tomorrow how to create for yourself, you know, massive advantage, massive results, and focus only on the things that matter, that are going to bring you the results. If you don't have results to show for right now, you know, tomorrow we are changing that. It is the end of no results for you guys. So you want to be here tomorrow. Friday is about bringing the money home. So you definitely want to come on Friday. On Friday, we teach you everything that has to do with selling, like the actual tactical know-how on how to sell these properties, because they're not being sold like a houses. There's nothing that you're gonna, you know, furnish and stage and light up like you do with a house.
So selling a land is not more expensive. No, it's actually much easier than selling a house. It's just different.
It's just different.
So you gotta be there Friday and Sunday when we talk about these things, where to list them, how to list them, how to create that listing, because it's just different than the other part.
If you're also out of country, we're going to have, some of our students also are going to be sharing how they have tweaked basically our model, and they're going to come on video as well, and how they're going to be teaching you how they tweak their model so that they can create the same, if not better results, that all of us are, having here in the US. So if they can do it from Germany and from other places in the world, I mean, you guys can do this remotely, even if you live in California, so that is super high price, and you want to invest in land in, say, Arkansas, it's totally doable. Or Canada, trying to invest here in the US, yeah?
And yes, 2 p.m. Pacific this afternoon, and then 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow morning again, right?
Yeah.
100%, all right? So with that said, guys, you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Again, if you need a concierge, you need a workbook, and if you said skip the line, please check your text messages and your Facebook messages. And if you don't know where your Facebook message is, there's actually a small. If you're in Facebook, there's a where is it? Somewhere here, but you need to look in your messenger. There's like typically on the top left, there might be a little number on there. That means that somebody is in red. So click on that and then go and find, because if the first time somebody sends you a message,
up here on the
right. If you look at this right up here, where your face is typically in the Messenger app, there's an indication that somebody is trying to send you a message. So we are trying to send you, if the concierge is trying to send you a message to get in contact with you, to send you the workbook, to talk about skipping the line, then make sure you respond to that, and then we go from there.
Okay, right? Yeah, the homework is coming up. The homework for today is going to be to go over and decide which is going to be your list provider and how many counties you're going to be sending, letters to, or how many letters you're going to be sending to each county, which we covered also yesterday and today. So the homework post coming up. Today, if you participate, I can give you guidance. Jack and I can give you guidance. Our team can give you guidance as well. Help you, redirect you. If there has been something that wasn't cleared in today's session, we can basically address it there in larger groups. That's the only way. And it makes you eligible to win also our big prize tomorrow, which is a scholarship with, worth thousands of dollars to one of our programs.
Right. So again, if you're watching this on Instagram or on Zoom, make sure to come over into the Facebook group, look at the chat on the bottom left of Zoom. There's a chat button. Go in there, post it in there. Our team, Jennifer, already posted in there to go in the group, join the group, because the afternoon session and going forward pretty much most of the day, also the morning sessions, are only going to happen in the Facebook group, okay? So we're going to do this here. So with that said, guys, go in there. If you said somebody skipped the line conversation, just reach out to one of our concierges. They can give you an update about it, or just rewatch the session entirely, all right? With that said, see you guys this afternoon, 2 p.m. Pacific, right? Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.